Hey everyone, it's Jay.
And Sean.
And today we've got something a little different for you guys because Kristine tagged us for the quarantine tag. So here we are in day who knows what.
Yeah, I could work it out because it's been since March 16th.
Okay.
So
Wonderful.
that's almost 60 days.
Okay. Sean doing math in his head is...
It's problematic.
It is a risk. But anyways, it has been like 7 or 8 weeks for us.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, but I think we're doing well.
I think so.
We're not crazy.
No, we're having fun with it as much as we can. Enjoying the good parts, trying to find the positive.
That's right.
And there are some positives.
There are some positives. I know, I feel guilty even saying that because obviously there's some super duper negatives for a lot of people. But I mean, we like spending time together. This is sort of a ideal life. Just
in a way, yes, because we do get to spend all our days and we don't have generally a fixed schedule where we're at work this many hours of the day. So
and driving to and from work this many hours a day.
An hour and a half combined for us.
Yeah. So for me, it has been kind of great because I have a compromised immune system, which means every winter I get like 3 different pneumonias and 17 different colds and the flu and like it's...
Yeah, you're always sick with something.
I'm always sick with something. And guess what? I am not sick with shit. Well, it's true. This is like the first winter in a super duper long time. This is my healthiest, ironically, this is my healthiest winter I've ever had.
Yes.
So there. So that's kind of nice. And in terms of chronic pain, I don't have to get out of bed if I can't get out of bed, which is pro.
It happens, yeah.
I can medicate and over-medicate when I need to. And the insomniac really loves not having a schedule to conform to. So I could just nap and or pass out for 12 hours whenever I like. My goodness, what a privilege.
Yeah, so it's not all bad.
Sorry guys, I know that's not like it for everyone, especially people who are doing their jobs and teaching their kids and trying to prohibit World War III.
Yeah, again, it's for anyone that's on the front line and actually has to go to work. We feel for you and we appreciate you because that is a whole other level. I am fortunate enough that my job, I can work from home, but a lot of people are not like that. And I appreciate it when I can go to the grocery store, the pharmacy, go get gas, what I need.
Although we have rarely gone for gas.
Yeah, that's true. I've only filled up once and that's because I couldn't resist because it has gone down like 35 cents a liter since before the COVID-19 came on.
Yeah. So, okay, that kind of segs right into the first question, which is what is your work situation right now and how are you adapting your routine?
So my work situation is, I am a lawyer, I am working from home, I'm a litigator, so the courts are closed except for emergency matters, and so everything that I had scheduled from May 16th to who knows when is adjourned indefinitely. So
I think you also meant March 16th.
I did mean March 16th, thank you.
May 16th, hasn't even happened
Hasn't even happened yet, but at that point it'll still be the same. The courts will open soon-ish, but not yet.
Yeah.
And so until they do,
probably not at full capacity.
No, and all of these matters that I have to be rescheduled are just going to go into a pool with the thousands
all of the other
ones that were supposed to be heard in the last 2 or 3 months by the time we get to it. So that will make my rest of the year busier, but that's okay. And in the meantime, it's nice because I do try and still work 9 to 5, but I don't have to. And so if my email goes down in the middle of the day, well, then we'll just do something else until it comes back on.
And I mean, not all of your practice is going to court, and you've actually had an increase in some of your workload.
That's true. So I do employment law and I also do commercial leasing, and in both of those, understandably, people have a lot of questions right now because employers have had to find a way to deal with their employees if they're not able to open. And same with tenants who have to try and negotiate rent abatements or delays with the landlords, because that's really a lose-lose situation for everyone. The tenants want to pay their rent because they don't want it to pile up, and the landlords want to receive that rent because they have to just go pay it to the bank.
Yeah. So as for my work situation, it's really funny because I'm a movie critic. I write movie reviews on an actual website, and for some reason, like, everybody immediately asked me how I was getting by, what's my life like. But I think movies were kind of the first thing that we all culturally felt as a symptom of these incoming, restrictions. And to see, the theaters close down and all of these big movies get delayed, sometimes for a year at a time, everybody was like, that was a big deal, I think, for most people.
Yes, I think that's when it really started becoming real.
Yeah, it was the first big visible thing, I think. So of course that does mean that I am no longer going to the movie theater. It also means that we are missing out on festivals, which we enjoy traveling to and seeing a lot of movies at. It is not yet festival season, so the big one that we would have missed was South by Southwest, which is usually in March. But I know, because I get a lot of emails about it, everybody's thinking, Oscar season kicks off late August, early September, because that's when the big festivals play, and you have to show your movie at a festival to qualify for an Oscar. So it starts out with the Venice Film Festival, which we have had the privilege of attending, and yeah, it's real nice.
If you get the chance, go.
Oh,
Venice is awesome, and that is a really good festival on top of it.
Yeah. Then we have Telluride, which is an American one, and then TIFF, the Toronto International one, here
which
in
is our
Canada.
home film festival.
Yeah, and the three sort of overlap a little bit. They're each like 3 weeks during like a 2-week period. So even when we went to Venice, we told ourselves, well, we won't go to Toronto this year, but
we ended up going.
Yes. So that's going to be a very different experience this year. Everybody's looking at online options, even if the theaters are back open, like they're talking about being at very reduced capacity. And as we ease the restrictions, we're likely to have a second wave of this. So,
and they'll work differently. For example, Telluride, I know, is a buy a pass and go to all of the stuff. You don't have to buy individual ticket movie, which TIFF, you have to buy movies for individual, or buy tickets for individual movies.
Unless you're press.
Unless you're press like Jay.
Yeah.
But for the rest of us, basically I don't think TIFF can work this year.
Yeah.
No matter what happens. Because one of the big things that's kind of fun is to go stand in a rush line.
Yeah.
But those lines are already around the block. They're already out of control.
But also, like, the big premieres are sitting shoulder to shoulder with 1,000 people sometimes.
That's true too.
It's crazy.
So it doesn't really work in the theater. It doesn't really work getting into the theater. So I think that's, we're looking at options, and they are looking at options, but that's probably how it's going to play out, which is sad.
It is sad. But, I mean, it's sacrifice we're making, and it's not going to be forever. The festivals will come back. The movies will come back. Everything will bounce back eventually if we give it time. So those are the things that have changed as movie critic. I think another thing that has changed is actually that I've been much busier. So people do ask us all the time, how many movies do you watch? And the answer is probably on average 2 to 3 a day. Which sounds like a lot, I know, but remember, you work at your work for 8 hours, so do we. Probably our viewing is even more than that right now, just because so many people are home that they're all looking. They want to know what's new on Netflix, what's new on Disney Plus, what's new on Amazon Prime. And of course, all the rentals that are now coming. We're having home premieres and stuff's being released straight to video. So actually, we've been quite busy trying to cover all of those things.
Mostly you.
Well, mostly me, of course. You are busy doing your work.
Yeah.
And I'm busy doing mine. So that's kind of an unexpected thing, because everybody's like, what are you going to write about if there's no more movies? Well, these are not
There's always
just
more
theater
movies.
times.
Yeah.
These are streaming times too, and those things are going up, up, up. So we've kept busy. What have we been binge watching? Well, as you just heard, our entire lives are a binge watch. But as for series, and yes, we do watch those occasionally.
Just for fun.
Just for fun. Yes. Usually, like, we both might be working on stuff, but we have something on in the background. And the dogs like to watch.
Yes, they do.
So we really love it when you guys recommend us your series and what you're getting into. It's it's hard to keep track, I know, across all of these streaming platforms to know what to watch. So actually we had our first and so far only live stream, and somebody told us they'd been watching Hunters on Amazon Prime. So we checked that out and really enjoyed it. We binged the heck out of it. And what else did we watch on Amazon Prime?
Jack Ryan. We watched 2 seasons of that, which was good. It was kind of a little ridiculous, but still good.
To be expected.
Yeah.
Not as ridiculous as
Tiger King?
the Tiger King. I was stuck on Lion King.
Yeah.
I was like, uh-oh.
That was the
Tiger
most
King.
ridiculous thing I think we've seen.
Well, that's going to be hard to top.
Yes.
Hard to top. But it is crazy, entertaining, absorbing, fascinating. This puts train wrecks to a shame.
Yeah,
Like, there's been no train wreck you would rather watch than this. Like, this is crazy to a new
the
level.
thing about it is there's no good guy. Really. There's 3 or 4 competitors for this exotic, the title of Tiger King, basically. They're all bad people. They're all bad people.
All not great.
Yeah, so it is just watching them go down. You don't really feel bad.
No, for sure not. I mean, just the lengths, they're all not just competitors, they're super shady people.
Yes, they are.
Who knew?
Who knew that exotic animal ownership was such a questionable enterprise?
Yes, we definitely need to be red flagging these people. Okay, so have you read anything interesting lately? So, remember when I said a little thing about insomnia? Yes, I read. I read more than I watch movies. That's because I don't sleep, guys. So I have been reading like a champ because that's the only way I do it. Currently, and we talked about this, we were recommending some books, some good books that are being turned into the movies in near future. So this was one I hadn't read. It's I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Iain Reid. So I am not finished it, so I can't tell you how it ends. And I shouldn't tell you how it ends. But it's about a woman who is going to visit her boyfriend's parents for the first time to meet them. And she already knows she wants to break up with the guy. So it's a weird thing to go along with, I think, in light of that. They've only been together a few months. Now they're going out for like a weekend. But I know something not great is going to happen because, it says right here, Charlie Kaufman is writing an adaptation for this. I think it's going to Netflix, actually. He is directing that for Netflix. It is a horror movie. So something bad is about to happen, guys. I'll let you know tomorrow. So I had run out of new books. Luckily, I have just re-upped my supply, but I had to reach back into my old, already read books. For this one, it's a book written by Tom Hanks. It's a bunch of short stories, actually, and he's actually not a bad writer. If you follow him on Instagram, and I'm not saying that I do, I totally do, you know that one of his loves, besides the lovely Rita, are antique typewriters. And this book is called Uncommon Type. And you will be surprised at how often his characters own antique typewriters. I think this is Tom Hanks' porn. I read Invisible Women. This is by Criado-Perez, Invisible Women. I have passed this on to Sean because I realized this is just preaching to the choir. Data bias in a world designed for men. This is super crazy, super eye-opening stuff. I mean, it's not crazy because it is the world we live in. And literally everything she says will make sense to you, but you've never thought of it before. but just like how everything in the world is designed on the average human, which actually means the average man. So nothing in the world has been designed for a woman and her body and her unique needs. And not only is that like unfair and uncool, but it actually means we die of stuff that we shouldn't have to die of because our cars aren't safe enough for us. They still don't do any safety tests with a female dummy. What's the
crash test
dummy? Okay. They do have a scaled down man, but they only put him in the passenger seat.
So women can't drive.
Holy shit. So all those cars that have like great safety ratings, if you look at independent rating systems, because of course those are the rating systems that the car manufacturers do. If you look at independent ones who sometimes actually do test for women, that safety rating goes way down. Because guess what? Your vital organs are in a different place. Your neck is at a different place. You know, the snappy things that can kill you. That airbag is not designed for you. It's designed for a man. The seatbelt is designed for a man. Everything. And that's just cars. The whole world has been built around men. My gosh.
It is eye-opening. Very interesting. I'm not all the way through it, but it's a fascinating read.
I read The Summer That Melted Everything. This is by Tiffany McDaniel. It's about the summer that the devil came to a small town. To be fair, he was invited by a lawyer who took an ad out in the paper.
So it's basically like Keanu Reeves in The Devil's Advocate.
Okay.
More or less.
Sure. Except for this devil looks a lot like a small black boy. And when coincidentally some bad things happen in the town, oh boy, are they prepared to lynch a little boy who claims to be the devil? Actually, they're prepared to do much worse. So this is a bit of a nutty book, a crazy book, and it explores your beliefs a little bit and what the devil really means. I read this, Wilder Girls by Rory Power, which I picked up pre-COVID and then forgotten what it was about. I have a terrible memory. So when I started reading this during quarantine, I realized it's actually about a quarantine because there's a virus. I was like, I don't know if this is really what I need to be reading right now. But it seems to be somewhat, it's set in like a girls' private school. So like they shut down and they're still all in the school. And like they seem to be genetically mutating. So there's some pretty crazy things that happen to their bodies. And so that was a bit of a crazy read as well. And it does not give you any comfort in your government, I will tell you that. And then this was the last one I can remember. There's a much bigger stack of books that I have just finished. But I mean, 1, 2, 3, like six deep, that's my limit. That's my limit of remembering. This is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. So this is one of those books that Sean was telling you about that I have already read and then reordered because I forgot that I had read it. It's a sci-fi novel. It's really interesting, actually. It's about this professor who goes out for like drinks for an hour one night while his family's at home. And he gets like bopped on the head and kidnapped. And when he wakes up, he's in an alternate universe. And the alternate him who invented this alternate universe traveling machine decided he didn't really love his alternate universe life, so he stole his life. So that's why he had to get rid of this guy in the good universe where the guy has a wife and kids and never invented shit. He takes over that life, and this guy gets stuck in one where he's been missing for the past 3 years. But he doesn't have any of the answers. So I've liked it twice now, apparently. So yeah, read it. It's a fun one. So Sean told you he's a little bit through one of those books, and that's basically what he's been reading.
Yeah, I read one other one, I think, at the beginning, but I forget what it was.
Yes, that's right. So has your makeup routine changed at all, Sean?
No, it's the same as always. Well, actually, I don't shave anymore. Does that count?
I guess it does. Yeah, I mean, you did shave once in quarantine.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
That was a while ago. So yeah, it's getting wild in here.
Yeah, it is.
Has mine changed? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I'm not getting ready and leaving the house for work, so I'm not doing anything on a regular basis. Am I still wearing makeup? No. Yeah, I mean, I am sometimes. Sometimes at odd times because I'm using this time at home to sort of experiment because I'm super bad at makeup. But I want to be, like, I love makeup. I love the thought of makeup. I buy makeup. And then I'm like, but I don't know what to do. And I feel like I must have, like, just a super weird face that nothing works. And I don't know how to do anything.
Oh, you're beautiful.
Oh, stop.
You always look great.
He's a problem. I think the biggest thing for me is that I used to get eyelash extensions. Because I've always had very long lashes, but when I started taking a medication for my autoimmune disorder, it's like a heavy duty medication that makes my hair fall out and my eyelashes fall out. And so I started getting extensions. But guess what? I can't go anymore. I would go every 3 weeks to get those babies reapplied. So now I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, this is why I get extensions, even though it is like $80 every 3 weeks, is because I could never do glue and lashes. That is still true. No amount of practice has made those suckers go on. Then I've tried the magnetic kind. I'm not good at that either. I really do think my face is a black hole for makeup. Like, no makeup ever works for me. So yeah, that's what's changed. I'm trying more because nobody has to see me when I fail. But that's that. Okay. What has been my favorite makeup product? I mean, the wipes. The wipes that take all the mistakes away, we'll say. Have you learned a new skill?
I don't think I have.
Okay.
I think I've been pretty much doing the same thing. I use Zoom, I guess. That's about it. I'm not sure that really counts as a skill because it's pretty easy.
Yes. Yeah, I haven't done anything that's like a big skill kind of thing. I think we've had to groom our dogs ourselves, which is a big project, even though they are small dogs. One in particular, and I don't want to name any names.
Bronx.
Totally Bronx. He is horrible. He's blind. He was a runt. So he has vision problems. And I think that has maybe made him more scared of the sound of the scissors. But yeah, he is impossible to corral. Like, Sean is a big guy pinning down a 15-pound dog, and that dog will wriggle and escape every time. He tries to bite the scissors every time, which is problematic. I think we can all agree, don't put your tongue near blades. Bronx does not agree. He takes it very personally against the scissors, and he thinks he's gonna win every time too. So, we cut his hair with scissors over a period of like 2 weeks. He was so matted, I had to cut down to the skin sometimes, so he had like some really good patches going. So we ordered pet clippers, but of course with all the delays, they were gonna take a month to get here. They are here. We have not tried them yet. That is a skill I am not looking forward to acquiring. Gosh, we miss our groomer.
Yes, we
Who
do.
knew? This is the time when you realize all the things.
Essential services.
Yes, people were making our lives easier. And I think we also realized we need to tip a lot more.
Yes. I don't know how they do it.
Yes. Other than that, the only thing I can even think of is we made on the weekend a rainbow grilled cheese, which is not much of a skill, I suppose. It won't come in handy in any sort of apocalyptic scenarios, I'm guessing. But my nephew had requested it. And so since we are missing them, we thought we would make a little video telling them how they can make the rainbow grilled cheese at their house. So we did learn how to do that.
Yeah, we did.
Have you given into TikTok dances or food trends? Certainly not, guys. I have TikTok on my phone. I downloaded it. I put like 2 videos of my nephew up and have not used it since. I don't really know what goes on there. But I will say that sometimes I see like on Twitter or whatever, like these sort of aggregate things where they've put together a compilation of TikTok stuff. And I find it has become so wholesome during the quarantine. There's a lot of like family activities on there now. I made Sean watch one where like a mother and son are trying to get a ping pong ball.
Oh, that was exciting.
With a series of So, I mean, it is sad. What will entertain us during quarantine? Very little. Not only is that sort of a lame thing for these 2 people to have spent like several evenings doing, and then we watched it, but I mean, that's the kind of wholesome stuff I think that was maybe missing from TikTok before, and now that we're all home from families, we're thinking differently about what that content can be. Have you had a video chat happy hour? I mean, not an official happy hour. I mean, you know, one of my sisters always has a glass of wine in hand, so it's always a happy hour for her if she's home. We have had some Zoom meetings. Some of them have been themed. We did big hair once. One went up and the other went across. So that was super exciting. But we haven't had, I think, any official dates. We just, if everyone can shut their kids up for an hour, then we'll hop on.
We had Easter dinner.
Oh, we did have Easter dinner together. That's true. Even my mom. Who knew we could teach that old dog a trick?
She probably got a virus though.
Well, yeah.
She gets a virus from everything.
That's right, a computer virus, we mean. Quarantine doesn't save you from everything. What have you ordered lately, if anything?
I haven't ordered anything.
Neither have I.
Not even a pizza.
Not even a pizza. It's true. This is weird times for Sean.
Yeah.
He's a pizza guy.
Yeah.
Okay, I may have ordered makeup.
Yes.
Do you want to leave the room? I'll stop
there.
there.
It's fine.
I may have ordered makeup. We don't know for sure until it comes because he checks the mail. But that's it.
Great. Great, that's it. All right.
Anyways. Have you texted your ex?
No. I mean, I couldn't text any of my exes. I did not text before I met you.
And we're not exes yet.
But maybe we'll text when we are.
I doubt. We don't even text now.
No, that's true.
Literally, if you look at, I mean, we're not texting at all now because we're always home. If you looked at our text history, Sean texts only one sentence to me nearly every day. I'm out back. I'm out back. That means he has arrived in the parking lot to pick me up. I'm out back. That's the only text I have ever gotten from this guy.
It's sad but true.
Yeah. He even programmed it into his car. So he doesn't have to type the whole thing out. He just presses one button. I'm out back.
It was already there. That's where I got it from.
The romance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. And last question. What is your quarantine playlist? Well, let me tell you, it's very easily encapsulated in this record right here, The Greatest Showman, which I hope you've watched it. It's one of my favorite movies, certainly my favorite movie musicals. This movie surprised everyone because nobody panned it, but it wasn't like a La La Land or whatever. And yet, every week, people who saw it told people about it, and they went to see it, and then they told people. Like, it grew in the theater and spent almost a whole year in the theater because people kept going to see it. And actually, it really is that good. I still remember how excited I was seeing that in the theater, and I probably have not felt anything like that since, which is crazy.
Yeah, because it's been a year and a half.
But I am a critic, so I guess I don't often get excited by movies, but this one I did.
It is an exciting movie.
It is, and all of the songs are stupendous. I know every word to every song, and Sean will often turn this record on for me. I mean, unasked. I think he just knows it makes me so happy.
It's also good.
Yes, it's also super embarrassing because, like, if I'm cooking, like, I can't stop going full Vegas showgirl on this record. Like, I can't hold it in. Like, I always end up doing some fairly elaborate choreography. Sometimes with some pretty drippy spoons. So, but yeah, every song is great. And I super love the movie. And I'm always happy to hear this soundtrack. So, we have been listening to it quite a lot.
Yeah, we have been.
Although we always do. So, that is our life in quarantine.
Yes, it is.
Anything to add?
No, I think you pretty much covered it.
Whew, it's not exciting times. That's for sure.
Strange times.
They are strange times. These are very unique times, and I think it is kind of cool that we will be able to have a record of what we were doing while we were on quarantine. Oh, you know, another thing I ordered a lot of is stationery. Because I write a lot of letters. I'm like a dying
She keeps
breed.
the post office in business.
I do, and you're welcome. But it's a little bit sad because two of my most frequent, I mean, I write at least weekly to these two ladies, are Sean's two grandmas, who are both 97 this year and are both having a rough go of it this quarantine. So his grandma in Toronto is in a nursing home and she did test positive for COVID, although she was doing well in terms of the virus. But they had to stop her caregiver. She's alone there. Her eyesight is failing. Her hearing aids are broke, so she can't even do phone calls. She obviously can't read, can't watch TV, and she has no visitors. So it's really kind of sad, I think, to think of her that way. And,
yeah, it is.
I don't even know if I should still be writing to her, because usually she would have her caregiver read it to her, but now she can't even hear, even if there was someone to read it to her. And yet I still want her to know that somebody is thinking of her. But I don't know if she'll think it was one of the great-grandkids if I paint her a picture and send it. She might think it's from Hudson, and then it'll be a rude awakening to know it was from me. And then Sean's other granny, who is in Barrie in a retirement home, is, I think, declining health.
Yeah.
And so it's very tough not to be able to visit people, especially under those conditions. I guess your parents are going to move her because she's needing extra care these days.
That's right. So
we're thinking of them both. And yeah, a lot of families are going through the same. It's a scary time to be sick. Whether you have COVID or not, it's not a fun time to be sick because it's so tough to get the medical care you need. So, we're getting through like all of you. We're staying home big time. And that's Fudgy trying to get in. Yes, he knocks like he's the cops. So I guess that must mean it's haircut time?
I guess.
No, but it is time to say goodbye. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.